The mission of our Toastmasters Club is to provide supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster self-confidence and personal growth. I'd like to welcome Joanie Freeman to give her second speech with Toastmasters. Please help me welcome Joanie. Joanie's going to be speaking about bike riding, and it reminds us that in Charlottesville, Bike Month is in May.
So I put this on. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm not going to bike through the room. So good afternoon. I'm going to start off by asking some questions of you all. How many of you drive your car to work? How many of you sit at a desk most of the day? How many of you work for hours at a computer? How many of you, when you go home at night, become a couch potato because the day is too tiring? What this is about is my story. I come from Miami, and I used to bike in Miami, flat land. And here I come, I move into Charlottesville, and I want to bike. Traffic, scary, hills. I try, and I try, and I try, and I don't make it. So what do? I sit around. And gradually, I gain weight. My knees start to hurt, begin to feel more and more tired, and get a little bored. And then I hear about something. Last May, there was a gathering from community bikes called Tour de Coupe. Now, Tour de Coupe was a bunch of bikers getting together, and they're going to go through town biking from one house to the other that have chicken coops in their backyard. Oh my God, this sounded so much fun. A group, I can handle that because we take the road when we're riding together. But the hills, what am I going to do with the hills? So I go into one of our local bike shops and I bring in my little flyer that talks about Tour de Coupe. And I said, I want to do this, but I'm a flatlander, and I can't make it up these hills. Do you have a bike that you could fit for me that I could borrow, and if I can make it up the hills, I'll buy it? Let me introduce my bike, affectionately known as Bluebell. I borrowed it. It's got a granny gear. Granny gear takes you up those hills. So I take this bike. The guy says to me, take it for a month. Use it. If you can't make it up the hills, bring it back. What a deal. I take old Bluebell, young Bluebell, and I join 60 to 70 people as we ride through Charlottesville, going up and down the hills, around the neighborhoods, going into people's backyards, and watching people show us their chickens. This was fun. This was awesome. And it began my experience riding bikes in Charlottesville. Wow, this was cool. So I gave up my chair. My knees do feel better. And I want to share why all of you should consider riding a bike. Our Surgeon General reports that 60% of adults in the United States do not engage in activities, exercises that are going to be conducive to their well-being and health. And believe it or not, 25% don't exercise at all. So what I want you to do is to imagine with me riding a bike through Charlottesville and feeling strong, and healthy. The Surgeon General also talks that when you consume food, calories in, you want calories out. Exercise, vigorous exercise does that. And if you don't, what happened to me on a greater scale, we're dealing with obesity in our country. So imagine with me riding and feeling lean and fit. Yeah. Whoops. The Surgeon General also talks about activities of this sort decrease your chances of premature mortality. It decreases your chance of cardiac heart disease, hypertension, colon cancer, and even diabetes. And everybody seems to know the fact that exercise reduces tension, and boy, life does build things up inside us, and we need to get rid of it. So why not imagine the freedom of the wind in your face, seeing your neighborhood, and enjoying yourself. The Environmental Protection Agency, taking your health and now talking about the environment. Over 1,000 miles per month are driven by people behind the wheel. And that produces up to 1 pound of CO2 per mile per month. Just think about what each of you are contributing to global warming. Biking, just 1 day a week, instead of being in that car, can reduce up to 20% of each of your annual carbon footprint. A bike reduces our dependence on fossil fuels. We're hearing a lot about this in the news. So, none of you are ready to give up your car, and I'm not telling you to give up your car, but what I want you to do is to think about the effects of this biking as an exercise and reducing your carbon footprint in your community. So, what will that produce? Biking, more and more people that hit the roads on 2 wheels instead of 4 wind up having less need for building more roads. This is a good idea. If we have less need for roads, we have more open spaces to really enjoy our community. More trees, more open spaces. What do we have? Cleaner air. And when you're on a bike, you want clean air. So in conclusion, what I'd like you to think about is 30 minutes a day, 2 coffee breaks. If you ride 3 kilometers or around 3 kilometers, 15 minutes, what you're doing for yourself and your community. May is Charlottesville Bike Month. So what I would like to do is to share with you all the neat things that are happening in the community for the month of May. And guess what? Tour de Coupe is coming up. Come on and ride with me. It's fun. Thank you.